Mad Riddler with the 58 months of tier 1 is sub for your sub. Well, the message saying that's like 10 sandwiches. That is a lot of sandwiches. So, to recap, for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, and possibly for those of you who are watching this for now, Sakura was just killed and we have no idea how. I better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victims was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Interesting.
Hey.
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why's that?
So...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with a chair from inside the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside, there was no way in or out till we broke the window. There's like zero escape, right?
In other words...
In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen like that in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
Hey.
Are you curious to hear more details about a locked room, about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving locking the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh?
In other words...
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door or something like that.
However...
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we could probably cross that one off the list.
It's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
In other words...
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend to show up alongside with everyone else, and that's that. It sounds like it could have been possible, maybe.
It's true.
And the fourth and final type, is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room?
In other words...
By that I mean there's actually an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. Then what do you think do you think we could cross that one off too?
Indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. There are 4 possibilities. Then Kyoko, which of those 4 seem most likely for this case?
It's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. We have? It looks like some kind of wrapper.
Huh?
That's... You recognize it, Hina?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much?
I mean...
But I wanted Sakura to get the chance to try one herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they've lost all their flavor. Hina. Polka dot candy wrapper has been added to the bullet section. Blood? No, shards of glass, because blood is pink in this game. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? This must have been originally been a bottle. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. There are a bunch... Yeah, there are a bunch of these over here. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. 100 bits from Lance Pie saying, I can smell you. Inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figurine. What I'm wondering is how they get those figurines inside the bottles.
So...
It's no different than your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh, yeah, maybe I have.
In other words...
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Monokuma bottle's been added to the Truth Bullet section. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things, little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The shards of red glass, which have probably started out as a bottle. Which means Sakura must have been hit in the head with the Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass in the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Here's a problem I'm having currently. I don't remember the full setup of the Monokuma bottles before this happened. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there was a queen bottle on that shelf alongside this one. And if so, then that one is currently missing. Huh? The locker's open, and there on the inside, it's a handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group?
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
Hey.
Think back, before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point. I don't know if that's on purpose or by accident, but there's no handprints on the locker now at this point when they were looking in the room.
Indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. So, yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? There's a bloodstain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make any sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Let's examine Sakura herself. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. Super Saiyan Jacob with the 50 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah, the best saying, it felt like a very long time, but here's to another 50 months. Also have fun with more Danganronpa. Sakura drew her last breath. Okay, there's obvious evidence of a blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally I wouldn't have any problem believing that, that's what killed her, but according to the Monokuma file, she also vomited blood. I can see a trace of blood in her lips, that's for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit in the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. Byakuya!
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on the most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected with why she died. Poisoning is possible. However, the way I came to that conclusion seems way too convenient. Because if that's the case, the most obvious conclusion to draw is that Hina poisoned Sakura with the candy. Because she knew about the poison in the chem lab, and she knew, and she had the candy. She had hoarded all the candy. But that's probably not the right thing. Talos with the 32 months of Prime. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Let's see. Is there anything else? Ah! Some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance.
So...
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. She mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
Wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can, it's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is?
Hey.
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
Correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath it. Why does that matter?
So...
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. Empty protein drink has been added to the truth bullets. Let me examine the chair. This chair was shoved against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence of any kind of string or mechanism was used in the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Anything else I can investigate? The clock. Let me check the slot machine. Is the slot machine one of them? No. Can I investigate the door? This door is the only way out, in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change of the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used in the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt that the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. There was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locker from the inside, not the outside. I have a theory that Sakura barricaded the door herself after she was attacked. Alright, let me talk to some people. Hey, Hina.
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon? The Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. I tried to stop her. She wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. Hina. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Aoi's account has been added. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm just what I heard with the three of them directly. There's a lot of doubt being cast on Hina right now because she knew about the meeting as well.
However...
Are you trying to, if you're trying to delete a, are you guys trying to delete a, one of the commands? Or did a command get, like, hidden or deleted? Well, this is also through Nightbot. The commands for that. Oh, we're talking about deleting comments. Okay. Usually... Okay, so I don't know how you guys have been going about it, but if you right-click on somebody's, this really only goes for mods. If you right-click on somebody's name, it'll come up with a slider for how long to time somebody out for, including a purge and a delete. So I think purge is their entire comment history. Delete is a Delete just deletes one. That's a BTTV thing. Okay, I thought that was a standard Twitch thing. Good thing I got BTTV then. Yeah, BTTV is very useful for like admin stuff like that. Timeout also purges, yes, but it also prevents the user from speaking again for a certain amount of time, whereas purge just deletes their comment history. But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
It's true.
And she certainly didn't, I wouldn't say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly. They wouldn't need to if they expected to stand any chance against her.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I want to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go to see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept this fact. If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks. Byakuya's account has been added to the truth bullet section.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
So then
you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided. She's got a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right, I do have to go talk to others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear from them what they had to say. So I can exit the room now. I want to check the map to see what those other 2 probably went back to their rooms. Okay, so it just teleports me down here, even though I've got fast travel. Well, I kind of want to check the map, because I want to see what the areas of interest for investigation are. Because I would think... Nope, okay, I was wrong. I guess I just have to... Okay. Hey, Tic Tac Dylan with a small raid. Here's some small countermeasures for you. Boop! So I need to talk to Toko and Hiro. Here's Toko's room. I press the doorbell. After a few seconds... Huh?
Who's there?
Ah, the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
What do you want? You said you wanted to talk to me about something? I wanted to talk to you about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me that she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master 2? I just said 2, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So can you tell me about it? I admit, I did get the note. But I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go to see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Toko's account's been added to the truth bullet section. gonna turn to one of those things where everybody ended up meeting her and they're just saying they didn't because they wanted to cover their own hides. Oh. Leon, hero. I pressed the doorbell. After a few seconds.
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something?
Yeah, actually. I wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
How did you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too.
What? When did Sakura tell you that?
Oh, well, when she asked me to go meet with her, of course.
But didn't she write you a note?
Yeah, a note. She
How about that?
She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious.
So then you went and met with Sakura?
You got it all wrong.
No way, I didn't. I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
Last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at me.
I haven't seen her since then.
While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you?
Do I still have it? Let's see. Hero was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey, come on.
Sorry. Looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hero's pocket. Huh? Quick as the wind, Hero snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry. Just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out.
Trash?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. Well, so if you'll excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hero quickly slipped back into his room. Hero said it was just trash, but there's no way there was all to it than that.
Pocket trash.
Okay, I've heard from Toko and Hero. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can that we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where should I start? I'm gonna start with the chem lab. Get the map. Go! Chemicals! Beautiful chemicals!
What?
Makoto, did you have your eye in the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way.
Yeah, I got it.
I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. There's a big spill on the floor. This is my first time seeing this shelf, but I can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. Looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. More important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. These are footprints, and they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
What?
Well, let's go. Chop chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long, I'd drawn up a sketch of the room.
So how's this?
Not bad. For you, I mean. For me?
I see.
So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business with the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must be...
Certainly.
Makoto, are they yours? No!
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. Couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did as Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit that these are not your footprints.
Unfortunately?
But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are a really valuable clue. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. This is where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it. It's Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this.
Then this powder must have been spilled.
In other words,
That's right, it could only have been around the time of the incident. If that really is what happened, then it must be related to the case somehow. Source of powder has been added to the truth bullets section. What else can I look at here? Well, the powder itself. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I better not leave a footprint. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. It's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. It's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4. It also looked like someone left footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Footprints in the powder has been added to the truth bullet section. Let's see, what's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait. There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Someone could have put it there. Could someone have put it here on accident? So on this shelf looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents. Put simply, they're used to experiment and to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh?
what?
What, you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
That's fine.
The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now, I need to focus on the shelf. All the letters on the shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number, so I guess I can consider this this shelving part of Unit Section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here, in which case I don't think I have to worry much about this shelf. On this shelf is... One look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of shelving unit C. Let's try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A is dietary supplements, Section B is reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A there was a bottle with the label from Section C. What was the bottle of poison doing from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. Chem Lab shelf added to the truth bullet section. I've already taken a good look at the Chem Lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Exit. Exit! Leave the area! I drank all my water. Alright. I wanna... One of these leads to the roof! Anyway, let me go ahead and, one of these days we'll get to the roof. We're gonna get there after all. Oh no, I want the rec room, so I want 3rd floor. The roof! The roof! The roof is a possible escape!
Hey,
So Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see.
I see. So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying. Zeo's Wing Fan with the 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the Hellspawn hero, Marcus Advorin, the Rose Guard, Torpid Jonah, and Sweet Lou. Here's a big sub for them subs. Mwah. Cause it's a Hellspawn hero.
Anyway,
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These 3 things have revealed new clues. You'd do well to look them over one more time. The magazine shelf. Kyoko said the magazine shelf is hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine's upside down. What does that say? Kakuto ladies? Heat struck with the 27 months of Prime. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. What does it say? You're going to the... I can't read that last word. You're going to the mall? Trying to read this, it's upside down. Miss Muscle appears. Cosplay king. But what does the first one say? The blue text. It looks like it says you're going to the mall. Someone put it back that way on accident?
Hey.
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that detail. In detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped it through. This is... One of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters, and it said, Toko. Could this be... a dying message?
Correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this?
So...
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message.
However...
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put back the magazine, who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use that to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. The Monokuma bottles. I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new, something new.
Hey.
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and I'm sure you'll find it. Each one's a different chess piece, and while we found the knight one having been smashed over Sakura's head, we don't see the queen one. A correlation. Hey, Kyoko, can you just tell me what it is?
So...
I don't mind guiding you toward clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusion so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? I do trust you to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree? Monokuma bottle's been updated to the truth bullets of your notebook. Actually, there's one thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it if you don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
Anyway...
Can you gather up all the pieces of the Monokuma bottle and try to get the smaller pieces too? Huh? Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya's not here, so...
So then...
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I don't really know what this is about, but... What choice do I have? I better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. Just as I finished up... Sorry to keep you waiting.
So then...
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So, what kind of experiment are we doing?
In other words...
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights? Of what? The pieces of the glass you collected and one of the Monokuma bottles still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
Listen.
First, let's compare the weight of two of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced.
In other words...
Which means each Monokuma weighs about the same. Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight. Quakesire with the 13 months of tier 1 who's sub for your sub. Mwah.
So then...
Now here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces will be collected will be lighter. I did my best to get all of them, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
So then,
Okay, then let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What?
In other words,
The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles put it all together.
hey,
And I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So what do you think? It's all on you. Monokuma bottle experiment's been added to the truth section in the notebook. Alright, so yes or no, chat. Is it something that I could piece together now, or is it something I need more details on later? Something I'd have to piece together later, okay. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure out anything. Well, yeah, I know, but
Hey,
don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at all at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there's still sometimes... I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
it's true.
That's totally normal. Then how can you...
So,
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind.
hey,
More importantly, look here. Her shoes?
Correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1. Yellow powder has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Her shoes are also labeled with her name. Very cute.
Hey,
Next is the wound on her head. Look carefully.
it's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot, so let me just
It
explain.
would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer from a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Oh, okay. I've got all the pieces now. The reason the bottle was heavier is because it was from the glass of 2 bottles. Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. Kyoko's examination summary has been added to the truth bullet section. Can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. We're already going to the trial? Man, it doesn't feel like we've been going for that long.
Whoops! You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake. Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It's already time. But the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Quickly through this door, I'll be safe. That was the red door! Monokuma made his announcement and everyone began to meet up one after another. And then...
The ultimate martial artist. Carrot_carrot. A locker room mystery. Right parenthesis.
What?
What the? Oh, I just recently discovered the power of emoticons. Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive.
Yes, indeed.
For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. XD.
This is just plain creepy.
Well,
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put it in a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
yes, indeed.
For example, do you have 100 friends? T_T.
He's right. That does make it seem sad.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
Now then, please get on the elevator. Lowercase o underscore uppercase O. I'll see you all down there. Less than less parenthesis asterisk dash asterisk less parenthesis right nope. Less than sign right parenthesis. Caret left parenthesis asterisk dash asterisk right parenthesis caret. Left parenthesis greater than asterisk dash asterisk right parenthesis greater than. What the hell was that?
I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at me.
I don't think I'm acting casual.
Don't be mean.
I mean, I didn't murder anyone.
Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer? What the heck? Whatever.
Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough, because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit, the killer, the one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know, and yet someone killed her. And that person is here. That person is one of us.
Don't look at
I
me.
said it before, and I'll say it again. It wasn't me.
Don't look at me.
I said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. It wasn't me. The culprit is one of us. Make no mistake about that.
Because I didn't do it. How many times do I have to tell you?
What the heck?
How could you stand there and say you didn't do it, even without breaking a sweat?
Hey,
Standing around here isn't going to do any good. Let's get going. Come on, it's time to put an end to this. I made my way toward the elevator. But with each step I took forward, I felt I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear run through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. I climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the doors close, and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all-too-familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower. And as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened, and once again...
Just the 6 of you? Huh? Just the 6 of you, huh? Really? That's so few! You must be so lonely. You say it like it's not your fault that we're all left here. That we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one less classmate again? Or will your school life come to an end completely? Now then, are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats.
And so the curtain opened for the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Set skills. So I can equip everything. Let me see what I have. Increase the focus gauge by 2, effective during the class trial. Increase the time limit for each phase, effective during the class trial. Steadies your aim a little, effective during non-stop debate in the Hangman's Gambit. I also have focus gauge recovers more quickly, effective during non-stop debate, Hangman's Gambit, and bullet time battle. Increase the damage to the opponent when the statement is destroyed, effective during bullet time battle. Increases the bullet capacity, effective during the bullet time battle, costs 4 SP. Alright. So, just to make sure we have everything, I want to go through the Truth Bullet section one more time to make sure I have all the details on everything. Starting off with the Monokuma file. Victim, Sakura Ogami, the time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon, around the time of the meeting that was depicted in the notes that she had sent to Toko, Byakuya, and Hiro. Discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries are noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Rec room door. A chair had been jammed against the door within the rec room, blocking access from the outside. It's believed that the killer did this to create a locked room scenario. Sakura is found seated in a chair, slumping forward. Traces status of Sakura's body. Okay, I should read all these out loud as I get to them. So, status of Sakura's body. Traces of blood were found around her mouth, presumably from when she vomited blood. However, there was no injury or indication as to why she would have vomited blood. Magazine shelf bloodstain. A bloodstain was found in front of the shelf of magazines. The blood is presumed to be Sakura's. There's currently no explanation for how the bloodstain would have appeared so far away from where the victim was found. Polka dot candy wrapper. At one point, Aoi had been injured and taken to the nurse's office. After she was taken care of, she gave a piece of candy to Sakura, which had this type of wrapper. According to Aoi, she has monopolized this candy as soon as it became available, so obtaining the piece would have been difficult to impossible. Glass shards on the floor. There were pieces of red glass scattered near the table of the rec room. After finding the top and bottom pieces, it was concluded the shards must have come from a bottle. Figure on the floor. A Monokuma figure was found on laying on the rec room floor. It would fit roughly in the palm of your hand. Monokuma bottles. There are a number of red bottles on the shelf in the rec room. Inside each bottle is a Monokuma figure. Additionally, there seems to be some unknown correlation between the bottles. You know, chess pieces. I'm just saying. Empty protein drink. An empty protein drink was found near the rec room door. The container had the label reading Chem A2. The shards of glass from the window that were broken to get into the room were found both around and underneath the container. Headset Guy 37 with the 2 months of tier 1 is sub for your sub. Mwah. This so this implies, to me anyway, the protein shaker being on top of the glass implies to me that the protein shaker was on the chair, and after the window broke, it fell onto it. After the window broke and the chair was moved, it fell onto it. Locker handprint. I have no idea what the significance of this is. A fresh handprint was found in the inside of the rec room's open locker. Since the locker, well, okay. I think I do have an idea of what it was, because it might have been that the person who killed Sakura was hiding in the locker before the murder, did the deed, left, and then I'm still of the theory that Sakura barricaded the door. That's how I'm piecing it together. Since the locker was open before they opened the locked room, there's no way someone could have been hiding in there before they arrived. Aoi's account. Sakura had written notes to Toko, Byakuya, and Yasuhiro, asking them to meet her in the rec room by noon. She had slid these notes underneath each person's door. Byakuya's account. Byakuya confirmed that he received Sakura's note, but also claimed that he never went to see her. In fact, had not seen her at all that day. Toko confirmed that she received Sakura's note, but also claimed that she never went to see her. A small bit of garbage accidentally fell out of Yasuhiro's pocket. It was a piece of paper with red polka dots all over it. Where have we seen that before? Yellow powder. Yellow powder was found on the instep of Sakura's foot. Examination summaries. Sakura suffered 2 blows to the head, not 1. No blood was found on either of her hands. Monokuma bottle experiment. All the Monokuma bottles appear to be roughly the same weight. However, when the bottle shards were weighed against the intact bottle, the shards were found to be heavier. Magazine dying message. On the magazine shelf, one magazine had been put back upside down. Inside the magazine, Toko's name had been written in blood. It is assumed that whoever wrote this used their finger to do so. Ah, but Sakura didn't have any blood in her hands. Chem lab shelf. On the shelf of the Chem lab, Section A contains supplements, Section B contains reagents, and Section C contains harmful chemicals. A bottle of poison labeled as Section C was placed in the Section A shelf. Source of powder. There was a broken... Stash official with the 13 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Well, the best saying, dog and romper time. Yes, indeed. It's a broken bottle in front of the Chem lab shelf, which was labeled Chem C4. The powder on the floor is assumed to have come from this. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled after the incident took place. I learned after the Celeste incident not to trust what everyone says. And Byakuya has always been suspect, so... Footprints in the powder. Someone had left footprints in the powder spilled in the chem lab. These footprints appeared only near the leftmost section of the shelf. From this, it can be assumed that the suspect only had business in this area. Mr. Ben with the 44 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah, with a message saying, yo, I didn't know you were dating Donna. Congrats to both of you. Also, happy 44 months. Can't believe next month it will be 5 years. Is that how time goes? No, it won't. 60 months will be 5 years. It would have been the 5th Twitch baby. "48 is 4 years. Oh, okay. Yeah. Alright, is that everything? All kinds of messed up. It's all good. Who's my prime suspect so far? Well, first off, Kurisu Pachi, with the 19 months of tier 1, saying just been over 1.5 years for me. Good luck and have fun with this trial, Tom. I will try. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. So here's the thing. I feel like, despite Byakuya's cool and composed demeanor, he would want to throw Toko under the bus as soon as possible. Okay, I think we got our preparations finished. Let's go ahead and start the class trial.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, where to begin?
We already know who did it.
Whoa, deja vu.
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you.
Idiot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah! I'd never kill someone, no way!
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
Hina seems really sure that one of those three is the killer. But she must have some reason for believing that. Aoi's account.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
I need to see the controls again. Aim at the mouse. Silencer is the right mouse. Okay, fast forward is control. F1 to open the handbook. Fire truth bullet. Flashback if I hold it down. Select truth bullet with the mount wheel. Concentrate and open help. Okay. I want to make sure I was hitting the right buttons.
And what reason do you have for saying so?
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have for accusing us?
That's low. That's about as low as you can get.
Some concrete reasons why Hina suspects those three specifically. I'm sure she mentioned it before.
It was one of you. One of you killed...
And what reason do you have?
Because you hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any...
That's the only reason you have for accusing us?
No, dummy!
Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those three killed her.
I can't disagree with Hina. There's a good reason to suspect all three of them. Then does that mean one of them did it? Pocket trash!
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three of them, there's no way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her.
Whoops.
I didn't either.
Yeah, same here. I never saw her.
Come on. There's no way none of you went. At least one of you is lying.
I think Hero is because of the candy wrapper. Like, that's really the only thing. There's a clear contradiction in something one of them just said now. They didn't go see Sakura. How can they explain it?
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three. There's no way that one of you is
I don't deny that I never went.
I didn't.
Yeah, same here. I never.
No, dummy! Rudy Tooty point and shooty
We were
refuty.
talking before. You dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No, it's,
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hero, where did you get that piece of candy?
From Sakura! It's the only explanation.
well, I mean, yeah, sure I got it from her, but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
When? When did she give it to you?
The last time you saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then.
But what Hero said can't be right. The gamer had changed with the 59 months of tier 1 is sub for your sub. Mwah. Because Sakura could have only gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. And the reason I know that is... when Sakura got the candy.
I got it! I'm not sure about that, Hero. Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office. So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Damn it! I mean, what I meant was, oh, that's right! I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything, you gotta believe me!
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredibly suspicious!
Nice, Hero.
More hostility.
It's not just normal hostility! You're the real culprit! I even have proof!
Huh? Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about her shining message.
What would a shining message even be?
At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right? It was her dying message. Just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
That's true. I saw it for myself.
See? See? Toko did it!
What are you saying? No way! I didn't do it!
You just don't know when you're beat, do ya?
Hero, hold on. When did you see that dying message of hers?
Huh? Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime. So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Huh? Hold on. But when Kyoko found the magazine with the dying message in it, it was... on the magazine shelf.
I got it! Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we'd started the investigation.
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense.
There's definitely something strange about it. Kyoko found the dying message during the investigation, in which case... that clearly contradicts what Hiro told us. Magazine dying message.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
What do I have? Magazine dying message. I just want to take a good look at it one more time. Magazine shelf been put back. Inside this magazine, tokens name been written in blood. It's assumed whoever wrote it used their finger to do so.
It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
He said he saw the dying message when he first found the body. But at that time, where was the magazine?
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
I think I have to pull one of the...
Problem.
Let me skip ahead on this.
Sense. I can tell you exactly when I found when Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
He said he saw the dying message when he first found the body, but at that time, where was the magazine?
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
Yeah! No, dummy!
When Sakura's body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it, after we'd begun the investigation. And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then. Tell us the truth, Hiro. When did you see the message?
Hold on! You're focusing on the wrong part! Why does it matter when I saw it?
Swirly Thitis with the 14 months of tier 1 saying, "Are you okay?" No, dummy! Here's a sub for your sub. It's a combination between Makoto and Terry Bogard. Are you okay? No, dummy!
All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who the killer is.
Vienna
Toko.
sausage?
I don't even know where to begin with that one.
He's just trying to confuse us.
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
Yeah? I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100%, without a doubt, she wrote it. And this is me talking, so you know it's true.
Without a doubt? No. I absolutely do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote that message.
Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right.
I forgot how to reload!
The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest.
How do I enter? How do I enter the damn mode?
The end is nigh. Can't hear you, can't hear you.
Oh, God.
Show me the proof.
This should prove it.
I don't think I've actually used focus once during this. On top of that, every time he kept talking, I couldn't hear the music.
Wrote that dying message. Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger. But both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Say what?
Then, who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself. That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Ah! He admits it!
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
Because I killed her!
You're admitting to killing her?
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool.
And when I got there...
Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple other people to meet as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Oh, sure, thanks.
And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it. I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end everything.
As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was gonna try and kill me. She was gonna kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out, and then... I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away.
I can't believe you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
Well, that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
Hey, Tim!
You're not gonna get off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura. We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it.
No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain. And until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
Yep, why the Monokuma bottle that he used to kill, that he used to supposedly kill Sakura with was so much heavier. Poke Emblem with the 31 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. So what is it that Hiro did that doesn't make sense? What would he have had to do after writing the message that doesn't make sense? Why the magazine was hidden, why he didn't use Sakura's figure, why he picked Toko. Oh, that's not... Uh-oh. What would he have had to do after writing the message doesn't make sense? Oh yeah, use Sakura's finger. Why I picked Toko, why the magazine was hidden. That's the only one I can think of that makes sense. Why didn't Hiro put blood on Sakura's finger to make it look like she'd written it? I just panicked, I didn't think about that. You wouldn't have thought of that even if you didn't panic. Anyway, that's not the point I'm trying to make. Embarrassed myself in front. Oh, that was a hefty hit. Here it is. Oh, right. He was trying to blame Toko. Okay. Yeah, why would he have hidden the magazine? That has to be it, right?
That's true. Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it? By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf.
I'm gonna create a save. Oh, I don't think I can do that during class trials. Never mind. Unless... Oh ho! I can!
Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh. Well, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Zephyr the Hollow Slime gifting a tier 1 sub to Padavine. Padavine, here's a sub for your sub. Mwah.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
Then he's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf.
600 bits for Mad Ruler saying, Monokuma, we need your strongest mono potion.
My potions are too strong for even a blackened, let alone any of you.
In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
I don't think there's any question about that.
But then, who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
Someone who wouldn't like what was written on it, there can only be one choice. Toko.
I got it! It had to be Toko, right? Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Was he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
So it's gonna be the case. All three of them ended up going to the rec room.
Why would I have...
I could already piece this together then. And here's what I'm thinking. Hiro struck first with a bottle. Toko struck second with a bottle. Byakuya poisoned her. That's what I'm thinking.
Wait, but more important, that doesn't even matter. We already know who did it, right? Hiro just admitted it.
That's right. I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious. That's just... I don't believe it.
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
So, what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but okay.
We haven't reached the end of the case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer. And I have to prove that. Kyoko's examination summary, status of Sakura's body in the yellow powder.
I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once, is that right?
Yeah, just once.
No, dummy!
If Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
Huh? 2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
How many hits would it take to make 2 wounds? My name Hiro, I don't know.
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about those bottles.
Yeah. They give off an almost sexual aura. Also, there are 2 missing.
Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right? And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
Correlation between the Monokuma bottles. I feel like it's starting to become clear. The connection must be the object that the Monokuma figure inside each bottle is holding. Hangman's Gambit. Alright, I need a C. No, I need a C. Alright, E! S! Oh, damn!
Now I understand.
I did it!
That's it.
I won Wheel of
Chess
Fortune!
pieces. Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was the knight, if I remember.
So, what's that matter?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while 1 apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
I'm personally a fan of checkers!
Yeah. Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
Lore Master with 100 bits saying 6 Monokuma bottles on a shelf, 2 were grabbed and smashed Sakura's head. Yeah. That's the conclusion I came to. Royal Kit Kat with the 3 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Blah, the best saying hiya. Also, your Lore Master, you're treading dangerously close to, like, if I hadn't figured that out already, treading dangerously close to backseating spoiler territory.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Wait, then the bottle that was missing, it was excited. It was broken.
I got it! The bottle must have been broken.
What makes you so sure?
Because there was evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just 1 broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
It wasn't just a single broken bottle, and the evidence that proves that is Kyoko and I figured it out before. Where is it? Monokuma bottle experiment. Bottles weighed more than the ones that were intact, or the shards weighed more than the ones that were intact.
I got it! earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment.
I want to hang on this phrase for just a minute. Okay, that's enough perversion for now.
We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces, which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
There can be no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been used by some bowling aficionados! No, Sakura's second attacker.
I got it! The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
Noble13 with a 6 months of tier 2. Here is a big sub for them subs. Mwah and mwah. For the best saying hi, everyone. Hey, cousin, let's go bowling.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her!
Thank you for the blesses.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am. Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room.
You did?
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in.
Toko was in the locker.
But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous. Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
No, it's not ridiculous at all. I need proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room. And I have it. She left it there for anyone to find. A new element has been added to the bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Am I doing another bullet time battle? Oh boy. So far, you've probably been pressing the left mouse button during the final strike without a second thought. But from now on, you're gonna have to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. Now you'll have to choose the proper truth bullet to use for your coup de grace. You'll select it the same way as you do during the non-stop debate. Simply press the Q key nor use the mouse wheel. Also, like the debate, if your logic difficulty is set to kind, you'll have fewer bullets to choose from. But for educational purposes, we're going to pretend you're set to mean regardless. Just this once, okay? Oh, by the way, you're about halfway through the game now. Go you! Well then, good luck and have fun. Two of these, huh?
It's a nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough! It's a lie!
Final strike.
That's enough!
Glass shards on the floor. Hold on, I need to take a look at them. Glass shard on the floor, locker handprint.
This should prove it. Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker? They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking.
Yep.
Does this handprint look familiar, Toko?
No, it doesn't.
Hold on. I want to take a step back here real quick. Ignore that. Let's for a moment. You see that Toko face? I want to try and do the best I can to simulate her face while giving the while saying it in the tone of voice that she did. No, it doesn't. Let's continue.
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up, right?
See, that's better.
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Then you killed Sakura!
No, I swear, there's no way!
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
Straight up again?
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room.
She is very much whipped by Byakuya.
I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on.
I'm not playing unkind. I'm definitely not playing unkind because all of the bullet time battles and whatnot, they've been going by like the normal like. They've been going. I'm playing on the medium difficulty, which is not kind. I don't remember what it's called though.
So I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened?
Kind is normal, okay.
Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
Bot Gnome with the 7 months of tier 1 is sub for your sub. All the best saying Greek sub. You have to pick an ultimate ability. What would you choose? I think I've been assigned ultimate voice.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there was Sakura, covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw all that blood, I fainted right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
I should play Asura's Wrath. Her? You mean...
Guess who's back?
It was your fault after all.
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Ooh, that's an interesting tidbit.
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories. So I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack, no problem.
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on. That's... you know... But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre. So that's good.
Silver Kaze Ninja with the 50 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah, the best saying, suddenly 50 months, Tom Scream. So that's good. Keep talking like that and Hina's gonna...
Well then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
Huh? I thought for sure you'd have some words for Hiro on that one.
What's wrong? Come on everyone, we're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
No, not quite yet.
Huh? Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd? Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it.
It wasn't?
Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
It's not over yet, is it? The one who killed Sakura is. Kyoko's examination summary, the status of Sakura's body and the yellow powder. I want to take a quick look at the status of Sakura's body. Trace of blood found in the mouth, presumably from when she vomited blood. However, there's no injury or indication as to why she would vomit blood. Let's need to see the other one.
And all of a sudden,
Kyoko's examination summary in the yellow powder. 2 blows, no blood was found in her hands. And the yellow powder. Yellow powder was found on the instep of Sakura's foot.
I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up! I killed her there in front of the shelf!
So, if the second shot from Toko is what killed Sakura, then the problem is, where did Sakura die? It was...
I was just sleeping peacefully.
Hang on. I gotta read it one more time. Slumped forward in a chair.
And all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
No, dummy!
We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
That has to be it. The evidence proves that it was an attack, it was an attack in front of the magazine shelf. Magazine shelf bloodstain.
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The bloodstain by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
But...
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
Oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
Huh. So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
The reason there's no way Toko was hiding in the locker is because the locker was too small. I was in the locker! Me, Lord Donator! I saw it for myself.
I got it! Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I'm back on my original theory now.
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
And
what theory is that? Well, thinking back to the chem lab, and that one of the containers of poison was in the same cabinet as the protein powder, it's very possible that Sakura just did it herself.
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
Rid PR with the 27 months of Prime. Here is a sub for your sub. Mwah. Sub for Kaze Ninja with the 50 months of Tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. I think I might have gotten that one already, but I wanted to be sure. With the message saying, suddenly 50 months, Tom Scream. And here with Cash Chow saying, wait, Tom is Lord Donator? This is the discovery of the century.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Would we really be missing something so important? There's another possible explanation. Maybe it's... Because remember, there had been evidence that Sakura had vomited blood. There's definitely a poisoning involved. The matter is just who? Yellow powder, Monokuma file, Aoi's account. What? I want to take a look at that real quick. Death estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. The evidence, strong head blow, no other injuries. However, it seemed at one point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Aoi's account. Sakura had written notes to Toko, Byakuya, and Yasuhiro, asking them to meet her in the rec room by noon. She had sleazy notes underneath each person's door. What was the last one? I didn't get a chance to see it. Or rather, I don't remember because I'm a fish. Yellow powder was the last one? Yellow powder was on the foot of the instep of Sakura's shoe. Yeah.
If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you're dead
the one I always
blaming
account.
me, huh?
there's one place I might find a clue, it would have to be written in there. Well, that just made that a lot easier.
If it wasn't from Genocide Jill, then what was it?
There's no other that killed Sakura. I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
No, dummy! Sorry, Hina.
According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
Gonna solve a mystery, yeah.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
You're making me go all weak in the knees!
Jill, come on, we're in a court case. Put the giant Twizzler away.
She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Yeah, because I did it. I mean...
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals.
Right, the poison for Sakura, the poison specifically designed to poison Sakura. Sakura's poison. That poison?
And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
The bottle of poison Byakuya just showed us. I'm sure I know where he got it. It was on the same shelf as all the other supplements, I'm positive. Yeah, it was on Section A.
I got it! The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? You just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
When he said strange, isn't it? I just flashed back to the 90s anime Sonic movie. You may know what I'm going to do, but that doesn't matter because I know what you're going to do! Strange, isn't it?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean this.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Byakuya put the bottle of poison to his lips and...
Master!
We were so shocked at what we were seeing, all we could do was stand there and watch. But as if it were the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was as calm as ever.
Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Oh, sure. Do whatever you like.
Kyoko took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of the contents on one finger. She touched her finger to her tongue.
It's protein powder.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
I was really hoping that, like, the effects from it would have been immediate. So, like, we didn't see Byakuya getting poisoned, but instead we just see him, like, grow, like, 3 inches and his muscles puff out. The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder. Which would mean that conversely, the poison must have been in... Could it be? Byakuya. Oh my god. Oh god! What? Hold on! Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, okay, got it. I need an R. Show me T! Show me E! Give me an N! Give me the D! And another N!
Now I understand. The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can.
Silver Moon 551 with the tier 1 sub. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah.
Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Something at the scene. A protein drink.
I got
Drink the Monokuma bottle!
You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
He's gonna accuse Hina.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
Evidence shows who switched them. It has to be... It must be what we found in front of the shelf. Footy prints!
I got it! The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind.
But why wouldn't there be footprints in front of Section C, then?
And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me. The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Then Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
I think that she believes she killed Sakura, but I don't think she, because of hearing Byakuya's theory, or not theory, but hearing Byakuya talk about the protein and poison powers be switched, Hina made Sakura a protein shake to give to her, gave it to her, didn't realize it was poisoned. Sneakers, huh? The only people wearing sneakers here are... well, it had to be Hina, so...
I got it! Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No! Okay then, let me see your shoe and I'll confirm their size myself.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Why am I getting Doki Doki Literature Club flashbacks?
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once. And then...
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them.
Now I'm just imagining like baklava, which is made with honey, being cut in the shape of words, so it's honeyed words.
Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism, but there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well... that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
I'm having frame drops. That's why you're getting some buffering.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please. I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
I get the feeling Hina has survivor's guilt.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Met Wars 2 with the 33 months of tier of Twitch Prime. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
But if that's true... Isn't it a little strange? Yeah, the footprints don't make sense now.
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
So I could shoot a truth bullet at one of the words and tell you no, dummy?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
I mean, pretty short. I don't really have much endurance. Oh, you mean with the... Okay, yeah. How long? Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the full truth of this case. Make your argument. Footprints in the powder. Well, footprints in the powder, I think is going to be it. ChemLab's shelf and source of the powder.
First, I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section...
No, dummy!
You said you went to get the poison from Section C, and that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
Give me just a minute. I want to fix this this frame rate issue. So the stream's gonna go down for just a second, and I'm gonna switch servers again. So I'll be right back. All right. Hope I can do it while it's still recording. I can. Excellent. Switch the server to Houston. Start it back up. Uh-oh. I hate when this happens. Come on. All right. Please. Need you to work with me here. Come on! Are we back? doing? What is it doing? Well, those of you watching this on YouTube, you get a little bit of a behind-the-scenes action here. There we go. It took 3 tries. All right. Let's continue. I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Unhelpful NPC with the 18 months of tier 1 is sub for your sub. Mwah, and Bell 308 with the 12 months of Prime saying, woo, 1 year. Tom Fist. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Toho Raiden with the 21 months of tier 1 saying, 21st month. We've got a mystery to solve, gang.
Well, you lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A. So you never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A.
Well, you see...
What the hell? What's going on here?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account. Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence?
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Ooh, Byakuya is being made a fool of!
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this.
Huh? A piece of glass?
It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle. And the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
It's a piece of blue glass. From the window.
But what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then. Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Huh? Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
Shard of blue glass. Kyoko found the bottle of poison. I think I remember I broke something the same shade of blue. The rec room window.
I got it! It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
To the walls!
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us...
Where was the bottle of poison? Where was it the bottle of poison should have been when I broke the rec room window? According to what Hina told us, Section A of the shelf.
I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you say, right, Hina? And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab.
That explains why it was on top of the glass.
Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with a poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here. Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Mr. Bearded Man with the 13 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
The reason she could say that is because there's evidence. There's proof that someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was open. The empty protein drink.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was unlocked.
No, dummy!
You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can.
Tim, no smart person is briefly dumb.
We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it...
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
Yeah, that's right, Tim. Byakuya is trying to frame K-Head, but he couldn't get all the words out. He just got
If that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
So she tried to commit suicide.
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
No, she didn't kill herself. She tried to. But remember, the poison bottle had the protein in it. That's what Sakura... That's probably what Sakura drank initially. And that's probably what Hina gave her.
Then tell us already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room. It had to have been... Actually... Remember, Sakura had powder on her shoe.
I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that?
No, it's not a lie. Sakura definitely went to Section C. Kyoko already showed me the evidence I need. I have to hit Hina with it to make her accept it. I gotta... Yep, moment of truth.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong!
Final strike.
Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
This should prove it. Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
Thanks, Tim. I really like rhythm games.
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
I failed a Hangman's Gambit once, but I've never, but I haven't failed any of the BTBs. I screwed up the first one of this case pretty badly.
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
No, you didn't kill her.
The one that killed Sakura. The connection between Sakura and the poison. The unsolved mystery of the locked room. There's only one way to explain it.
Here's my answer.
I was right from the beginning.
The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it. All so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room.
Because of course. Monokuma forced her into the locked room, or Sakura wanted to create? I think wanted to.
I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door. Because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were.
I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room.
You said you were going to go get everyone else. But your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room...
I got everyone. Ogre!
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
Sakura's been killed. I see.
While everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No! No! No, 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 no! I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is! Actually, no. You're right. We have to end this properly.
Well, let's build the, I forgot how to navigate this. There we go. No. Not that. Actually, I'm not sure. Does this look like she's going in or coming out? This one looks like she's coming out. Okay. Look at the little running animation here.
killer is you! This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked. Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear...
I just like how Hiro here doesn't look like he's running away, but it looks like he's just flying. Away!
She jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece.
And now we got Genocide Jill Sonic running.
And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened, knew that she had committed suicide. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground. And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort was you, Hina.
God, this is such a sad picture.
that's the full truth of the case. Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened? But, Makoto, how did you manage to... How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Huh? Oh, well, I mean...
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated. That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case.
Oh, G-head now.
See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
I want the next chapter to start off with like a comically too nice Byakuya. Nice! 101 medals!
Okay, okay. I think we can all agree you made your point. Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You seriously forgot? I can feel my energy draining out of me. Well, whatever. You don't really have a choice anyway. You just gotta do it. Maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote. So, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Honestly, like, I feel like that, like, I was suspecting a suicide to happen at some point.
Yeah, that's right. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
My entire existence.
Okay, we're done here.
What did you say?
So that's the whole truth, huh? I see. But there's still one thing I don't understand.
Come on.
Hina, why did you try to cover up what happened? If the truth hadn't come to light, you would have died along with the rest of us.
What are you thinking?
And yet why did you do that?
Don't be mean.
Yeah, we almost died there.
Is this?
Because that's exactly what I wanted. What? I mean, the reason Sakura died is because all of you pushed her into a corner. You all killed her. So that's why
You should have been the one to die.
I couldn't let her be the only one that died.
What?
You don't mean you were gonna take us all with you? We have to atone for our sins because everyone, even me, we all killed her. We have to pay for our crimes.
For serious? That's...
What is this?
Still don't understand? Then let me explain. Do you realize how much despair Sakura was carrying with her when she died? Look at this.
Such brutality has made me desperate. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand.
That's... I found it on the ground in front of the rec room. Sakura's suicide note. Suicide note? Thinking back, I should have seen it coming. It's right after Genocide Jack had attacked me. Sakura got mad and stormed out of the nurse's office. I ran out after her and... Sakura, calm down. You don't have to worry about me. I'm fine.
I can't calm down. I don't care if I suffer for this. It's my fault after all. But now you're suffering because of me.
No forgiveness.
You tried to protect me, but because of me,
I can't.
my closest friend got hurt.
Sakura.
Because of me, my friends are going to kill each other. This is all my responsibility.
Sakura thought she was responsible. She thought everything was her fault, which is why she wanted to find some way to get everyone to forgive her. So she asked to meet with them. You asked to meet with those three? You can't! Don't you see how dangerous that is?
Don't worry, I just want to talk to them.
But,
Talk about what? Listen, don't do it. If they all gang up on you at once, even you.
Hina, please don't think of things like that. They're not my enemy.
They're friends.
Sakura. She clearly believed. She completely believed in all of us. If you just talked to her, you would have understood. She was a friend to us all. And yet...
why?
And yet... trampled all over her feelings. And then you did the unthinkable.
No, that was just a misunderstanding.
What are you saying?
Don't stand there and call it a misunderstanding. She believed in you. And you wouldn't even listen to what she had to say. Without asking a single question, you tried to kill her.
I won't forgive you.
Do you have any idea how desperate she was seeing you act like that? That's what her suicide note means. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand.
Why?
That's how far you'd pushed her.
Huh?
Sakura, what happened to you?
Hina, you came.
Wait right there. I'll help you out.
Hina,
Huh?
I'm so glad I got to meet you.
What's wrong, Sakura? Why are you talking like that?
I have a favor to ask.
Huh?
A favor?
Some protein.
I'd like some protein. Could I ask you to?
Yeah, you got it. Just hang on. I'll be right back. That was the last conversation I had with her. I went to the chem lab to get the protein she'd asked for, but when I got there, I saw the powder. And that's when I realized. I saw that someone had taken something from the poison shelf. Sakura. So I ran back to the red room as fast as I could. But by the time I got there, it was already too late. Sakura!
Please.
Let me in! Please open the door!
Why? Why?
Why did she have to die? She had weakness just like any other person. If she got cut, she bled. If someone hurt her, she felt it. That's weakness. That's normal. And yet,
Why?
you all blamed her. I tried to protect her and I suffered for it. And that's just added to the weight she had to carry. I didn't even realize it. Hina. We killed her. All of us. We pushed her into a corner and we murdered her.
Why?
People like us shouldn't be allowed to live.
And that's why you tried to lead us astray. You did your best to make us arrive at the wrong conclusion during the class trial.
Sakura died hating all of us. I wanted to free her of her regrets. But even that got found out. In the end, I wasn't able to do anything for her. I could never face her after this.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt you when you're about to deliver the final tearjerker, but it's just taking so long. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I mean, do you really think you have any idea what Sakura was actually thinking when she died?
What is this?
What did you say?
Everything you just said is nothing but your interpretation, right? Your own opinion on what her suicide note meant.
What are you saying?
Of course I know what she was thinking. Cause her and me.
In other words,
Well, what I'm really trying to say is,
yes, indeed.
don't you think the entire foundation is shaky? What if it was really like this?
What the heck?
What is that?
Of course.
Isn't it obvious?
Yep.
A suicide note. Sakura's suicide note. What? But he'd already...
Bad.
Oh, I wrote that one. It was all me, baby.
It's true.
This is the one Sakura addressed to Hina and put it in her room.
What? Then you lied to me.
Unbelievable.
Oh
Oh, don't say lie. It makes it sound so dirty. I just thought I'd liven things up a bit.
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
I can't help it if you totally took my little scribbles at face value. I didn't even have Sakura's signature on it. You filthy little... I'm not filthy. I didn't do anything. Did I falsify evidence? Did I affect the outcome of the class trial? The case played out between you and you alone. You were the ones jerking each other around. Heck, even if the will had factored in, it still would have been between you guys. So what's the problem? This is all part of the production process. Okay, and scene. Cut!
And?
So then, what did she write in her real suicide note?
What are you gonna do?
I'm glad you asked. For your benefit, I shall read it in my melodic, angelic, harmonic narrator voice.
Hey!
But you know, haven't you ever been curious about the whole suicide note thing? Who came up with the idea of leaving a note when you kill yourself in the first place?
But hold on.
And isn't it just so unfortunate? Killing yourself is just so final, you know? You can never hear the rest of their story. The truth is lost in darkness. Gives me the willies.
Enough already.
Could you get on with it, please?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, geez. Talk about a buzzkill. All right, here we go. My good friend Hina, there's something I have to tell you. I hate to do it like this, but you need to know. This is my final wish.
As you know, I've been giving information to the one who's imprisoned you here.
It was our first night in the strange school that the mastermind came to see me.
You see, the mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool.
You might not see the importance of a dojo, but my family has watched over it for 300 years. For over 300 years.
I couldn't let it be destroyed under my watch. So even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things.
However, that was my greatest weakness. And because of that, I made the mistake of giving in to the mastermind.
And what the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder.
They were probably worried that until the first murder had happened, nothing would move forward. But what neither the mastermind nor I expected was the incident involving Sayaka. At that point, the plan changed. The mastermind told me to hold off, to wait until we reached another stalemate.
However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken.
Watching everyone fight with such despair, trying so desperately to stay alive, I saw the weakness in my own heart, the mistake of succumbing to the mastermind. And more than anything,
I cannot betray those who would call me their friend.
That's how I came to feel.
So that's why Sakura...
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Of course, because of that, I decided to reveal her secret, which made everyone else hate her. Her decision to stay true to all you led directly to all of you hating her for it. Ironic, isn't it? Or maybe oxymoronic, or just moronic.
Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness.
I am perfectly willing to accept whatever attack you may want to make on me.
So this is my atonement for betraying you. That's what I had in mind.
But unfortunately, that's not enough. This won't end with me just accepting your hatred.
My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me. Which is exactly what the Mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal.
My betrayal brought suspicion, disharmony. The Mastermind knew that eventually it would escalate into someone murdering someone else.
Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well.
I have an obligation to get the situation under control. And to fulfill that obligation, I've decided to do as the Mastermind has commanded. I will do as I was told and commit murder.
But I've decided the one I'm going to kill is myself.
If the mastermind demands that I kill someone, then that someone will be me. Then my dojo will be safe, and above all else, none of you will have to kill anyone. When I die, the source of conflict among you all dies with me. For that, I'm willing to give up my life.
If it can save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
I've never had people like you in my life.
Huh?
Then Sakura didn't feel cornered. She didn't die hating us.
No way!
She wanted to stop us from fighting? To protect us?
Correct.
She didn't end her own life because she was weak. Quite the opposite, in fact. She was strong. Too strong. That's why she killed herself. She chose death for herself in order to protect the rest of us. To sacrifice so much, no normal person could do that.
However,
It was only her limitless strength that made it possible.
Finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially.
The reason I didn't tell you any of this was because I knew you would try to stop me. I'm really, truly sorry. But please don't be sad. If I can thwart the Mastermind's plans, if I can keep you from killing each other, that's enough for me. This is the path that I have chosen. This is the only way I have left to distinguish myself. And you can use this note to bring the class trial to a quick end. I'm so sorry to ask you to do something so unpleasant, but I have to leave the rest to you. Please talk to Byakuya, Toko, and Hiro on my behalf. I can't tell anyone about my plan while I'm alive, but I wanted you to understand why I'm doing this. In the end, though, I hope to show myself through actions and not words. Hopefully then they'll see.
I never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible. Hina, whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else. No matter what, just survive.
But...
This is... I didn't understand how she felt. Not at all. I thought we were close and still.
What are you gonna do?
But in the end, all her meddling was like totally pointless. She died so you guys wouldn't try to kill each other, but you almost ended up doing it anyway. Thanks to you, her death had served no purpose at all. In fact, it was because of her stupid meddling that the rest of you nearly bit the big one.
Too bad.
She deserves all the blame. Everyone blame her. Go ahead, she deserves it. Now then, the next victim has been decided.
What do you mean, next victim? Nobody here blames anyone.
Huh?
First of all, you're wrong. You're in the wrong for tricking Hina with that fake suicide note. And plus, Sakura's death wasn't a waste. Because she made us remember. We are not enemies that hate each other. We're friends who need to work together.
You know?
Damn straight. It's all because of our misplaced hatred.
Well?
I don't blame her. I can't blame her. Nobody can blame Hina either.
But what?
Whether or not there was a spy never really mattered. Because the one thing we need to destroy is you. Nobody else.
What do you want?
What the heck? That's not how this is supposed to go. But anyway, are you sure about that? The killing game is a competition between all of you, remember?
Hey!
Your enemy is each other!
He's absolutely right about that.
Ah, lovely Byakuya. You understand, don't you?
This is life or death elimination match. The only way to survive is to win. There can be no doubt that those are the rules of the game. Which is why I am bowing out of the game.
Huh?
Naturally.
Sakura and Hina were both willing to sacrifice their own lives to deny the reality of the game. Thanks to them, it would appear that others have cast aside their fear for this game.
Don't make me repeat myself.
There's no point in participating in a game which has lost that sense of excitement. Which is why I will no longer be participating in it.
What? What's going on here?
Now I have only one thing to look forward to.
It's all clear.
And that is to heap the harshest possible punishment to the one who thinks they can control me.
Byakuya, does this mean...
Don't misunderstand. I haven't been moved by some thoughtless sentimentalism, if that's what you're thinking.
Wherever Master goes, I go, and if the mastermind turns out to be a guy, maybe I can catch on fire. Everyone.
Hey.
Well, now can you say that Sakura's death had no meaning? How boring. But nothing good can come of this. I'm still gonna be the one having the fun time.
What the heck?
The fun time?
Anyway, let's forget about that good-for-nothing backstabber and get back on track.
You want me to punish you guys?
It's time! It's the moment you've all been waiting for! Punishment time!
What?
Wait, but Sakura's technically the killer, right? And she's dead. You're not gonna...
But...
Is it me?
Wrong.
Oh, heavens, no. Just because the Blackened is dead doesn't mean I can just sub in whatever old student I want. Didn't I tell you? I'm very particular about the bare times one rule.
Listen up.
But I spent so much time preparing my special punishment, it'd be a shame to let it go to waste. So for my special punishment, I prepared a special guest. A special guest?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
It's Sakura's corpse. Oh no! Excavator Destroyer. You suck, man! You turned him into a mangled hunk of junk!
Phew, that really took it out of me. Maybe I'll go grill up a plate of chicken. After all, they say for post-workout grub, chicken's where it's at. And I'm all about the grilled goodness. Fried, broiled, give me a break. The color, the smell, the succulence. Grilled is where it's at. I realized how dangerous it could be. But still, I have to do this. I'm scared, but I can handle it. I don't really understand why, but when I think about everyone else, my courage starts to grow. You might think I'm just some inhuman AI, but it's true. So, it's okay. If it's for the sake of everyone else, I won't be afraid.
Alter Ego's words raced through my heart and soul, and my disbelief gave way to raw anger. The anger turned to fury, black and muddy and boiling over. It bubbled through my body quickly, and quickly overflowing and shooting out of my mouth.
How dare you! That was my friend! How dare you kill him!
What's the matter?
Huh? You were friends with a laptop? That's pretty pathetic. What's next? Friends with a basketball?
Shut the hell up! He wasn't just a laptop. He was my friend! And you killed him!
Is that what you call animism? Where a soul dwells within all things? Even, like, laptops? Well, you can call it whatever you want. Bottom line is, it got in my way. It was trying to find out all things all sneaky.
Just as I thought.
So you finally noticed him.
Actually...
Finally? No. I knew about it from the very beginning. I knew Chihiro was doing something with the laptop, and I knew you were using it to analyze data. I knew exactly how it was gonna all play out from the start. What?
What are you thinking?
You knew, and you were still cocky enough to let us take the plunge.
Yep.
Well, I mean, data and that laptop? It was, I guess you could call it a gift from me to you.
Phew.
Or maybe more like a reward, in honor of you being able to unlock something so difficult.
Hey,
So of course I didn't care if you got access to that. But But sneaking into the network was just too personal, so I had to do a little, reformatting.
I want to be able to help.
I want to keep being helpful to everyone. I want to work as hard as everyone else so we can all get out of here. Alter Ego wanted to fight for us. He wanted to help at the risk of his own life. And for that, he was killed.
Yeah, the punishment time has made me feel a billion times better.
Very nice.
Experiencing a meaningless death is so soothing. It makes me remember how that every low can get even lower.
No, his death wasn't meaningless either. Everybody who's died so far, the deaths of each and every one of our friends, they all make us stronger. I swear to God, someday you will pay for this.
Holy moly, you're super mad. Like, just unreasonably upset.
Well?
Okay, time to bring things to a close. Oh, but before that, I need to read the postscript.
What?
Postscript?
Yep.
Yeah, there's still a little bit more left of Sakura's note. Huh? Do I have your attention? Okay then, here we go.
Hello.
Prepare your ears for the dulcet tones of yours truly. One other thing, Hina. There's something I'd like you to tell the others. Hopefully, it'll act as a clue to help you unravel the mystery of the school.
What? A clue?
Hina.
I've spoke with the Mastermind off and on the whole time I've been here, so I've learned one thing, which is, the Mastermind has done something to us. I think what they've done is...
Oopsie daisy, that was a close one. Another word and I would have been hip deep in spoiler territory.
Too bad.
Okay, I don't want to ruin the surprise, so book club is dismissed for today.
What? You can't just stop at the most important bit!
Makes your brain rumble and tumble, huh? Makes you so mad that you don't even friggin' know, huh?
You guys?
That's the whole point, stupid! If it's to get back at all of you for hardening your resolve. Fine, but at least Sakura's note... Like I'd ever let any of you greaseballs have it. But...
Too bad.
Sucks for you, loser! Wait, what's this?
What?
What is it now?
What?
There's one last line in the note.
And let me just say this to the Mastermind. I'm not going to just lay down and die. I will fight you, you bastard, no matter what. And that's seriously it.
Huh. Wow, what a stubborn loser, huh?
She won't lay down and die. She'll fight you.
Well, whatever. Who cares what some dead musclehead has to say?
Well?
Okay, I'm out of here. You guys should try and get some rest, you know? And maybe take some time to reconsider how you approach this school life of yours. Are you sure you don't want to graduate? Can you really cut free from the regrets of the outside world? Think about that. Think long, think hard.
Those were his parting words to us before disappearing. But what was it all about? Sakura's final message, her last clue to help us solve the mystery of the school. The Mastermind did something to us. Kyoko said something like that before, didn't she? It was after Celeste's trial was over.
You...
What did you do? What did you do to my body?
Who?
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body? The Mastermind did something to our bodies. What are they saying the Mastermind did? What did the Mastermind do to us? I mean, did the Mastermind plant a bomb in us or something? And if we try to leave the school, a sensor goes off and the bomb explodes? I've seen stuff like that in movies and comics and stuff, so it's not totally unheard of. No, I feel awful just thinking about it. I can't afford to acknowledge thoughts like that.
Yo.
So the class trial's over and Monokuma's gone.
What?
So now what do we do?
Yes.
What else is there to do other than head back up? Oh yeah, okay, let's get out of here.
But...
Hina must still feel responsible. Dial back that ego a bit, girl. The kind of mystery someone like you could pose is absolutely no threat.
Not possible.
I would never have lost that kind of challenge. What are you talking about? Kyoko and Makoto are the ones who figured everything out.
Stop talking.
Shut up.
Seriously, I'm sorry.
How many times do you plan to apologize? How about you make that that the last one? I haven't reached a point where I need someone apologizing to me more than once.
Sorry.
Okay, I see what you mean. Then, I'll try. Huh? That totally wasn't normal, right? Did she just capture his flag?
No, 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 no!
I can't suffer the existence of someone who would disturb the romance between me and Master.
Huh?
What are you talking about? That's absolutely not what's happening here. Why would I ever go for a sleazeball like him?
What did you say?
Sleaze ball?
What the heck?
That's right, I called you a sleazeball, because you are sleazeball.
See.
Apparently you still have a death wish.
Oh, more biting sarcasm. No wonder you don't have any friends.
No, 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 no!
Hey, stop fighting with Master! You're making me jealous! I want the abusive give and take! Me!
I guess it's not easy for everyone to act like friends. Well, that's just how it is for now. And so Sakura's class trial came to an end, and we returned to the world of Hope's Peak Academy. But the story wasn't even close to over. Time kept marching on. We all went back to our rooms, and before long, night snuck up on us.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m.
Also Clefairy.
As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then. Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Nighttime descended and pulled me down along with it, down into sleep. I couldn't remember the last time I'd fallen into such a deep sleep. But the night still wasn't over for me. A voice. I could hear a voice. Woke up. Wake up. Huh? The voice dragged me from deep slumber into a hazy half-conscious. My eyelids were like lead.
Kyoko?
Yes, it's me.
Huh? Kyoko?
I said yes.
So Kyoko's here.
Wait, what?
In a flash, I was wide awake. Well, what are you doing here?
It's true.
I'm here to wake you up. Oh, I see. Wait, but my door! It was unlocked. You're unbelievably careless. It was unlocked? Are you serious?
Hey,
Always, but I don't have time, but you don't have to overreact like that every time you're surprised.
What time is it?
correct.
3 o'clock in the morning, of course.
It's 3 a.m.? Why was Kyoko waking me up at this hour? It's so late. What happened?
Makoto.
I have a favor I need to ask.
What's your favor?
So,
Remember what Sakura said at the end of her note? I'm not going to just lay down and die. I will fight you. I want to find out what she meant by that.
Okay, but how do you plan to do that?
Then Kyoko put her lips next to my ear and whispered. The data center on the 4th floor.
What?
goodbye.
I'll meet you there. Without another word, she was gone.
What the?
Her words reverberated through my half-dazed head. The data center. But I thought it was locked. Let's all go to the data center. Let's all go to the data center. I made my way to the after-hours school and headed to the data center on the 4th floor. Eventually, I wound up at the data center, but when I arrived...
Kyoko's not here. That's weird. She said she'd meet me. Is she maybe inside already?
I put my hand on the door with a certain amount of force. It didn't open. I tried again, but... it must be locked. What was it Kyoko said? The data center on the 4th floor.
What's this?
Oh, what are you doing up, mister? Gah! Breaking into a locked room is incredibly prohibited, don't you know? Oh, well, You're trying to tell me you didn't actually bust in yet, right? But I can see that, you dolt! Don't waste my time telling me crap I can see for myself! It looked like you might break in any second, so I thought I'd give you a friendly reminder. Or are you gonna try and tell me you were sleepwalking or something? No, nothing like that. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, for crying out loud. Even I get tired, you know? Stop being weird and go back to bed!
What's wrong now?
Just a second.
Why are you out here making a racket?
Kyoko! No, you too?
You guys?
Whatever! The two of you just get back to bed. I'm positively exhausted from the class trial.
It's true.
Sure, you got it. Come on, Makoto, let's head back.
What?
Hey,
Didn't you hear me? We're leaving. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
shall we go?
Don't worry about it. Let's just go.
Okay. Yeah, go on, get out of here! Shoo!
So we left and went back to our rooms. And then...
Goodbye.
So, goodbye. Hold on! Listen, what was that all about just now? She woke me up, maybe go to the data center, which just so happened to be locked. And then she shows up late, and we leave without checking a single thing. What was the point of all that? Don't worry about it. I figured that would be the end of our conversation, just like always, but...
Goodbye.
Well then, good night. Sure. And then that was over. But as I turned to leave...
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Kyoko was right next to me once again, whispering into my ear.
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Ooh, I got chills. Six students remain, but a 7th, apparently. To be continued. Got the altar lump. I wouldn't really call that a present. And with that, that's going to be the end of the stream. I got a few subs to read, but aside from that, should be, got a little bit sucked into the story. So anyway, where did I leave off? I believe I got Ganaham. Belf Main Seal with 3 months of tier 1 saying, looks like I chose the wrong time to join the stream. Last I remember, Sakura just died. King of Nidoking 945, no, I'm sorry, 495 with 100 bits saying, sorry, Ultimate Swimming Pro, but your attempt to cover Sakura's suicide have sank. Devil Joe with the 4 months of Prime. Grabobly with the 29 months of tier 1 saying, objection. Oh, wait, wrong game. Belf Main Seal gifting 2 tier 1 subs to Double G Goomba. And Shifty Fish, here's a big sub for them subs. Yeah, just the moi. Triforce Drum with the 18 months of Prime. And Dan Genesis with the 60 months of tier 1 saying 5 years for chapter 5. Here's a sub for all the subs. Mwah. And now, before we end the stream, we got to gift subs and then we got to raid somebody. All right, for the amount of gift subs we got, I'm going to give 3 back to the chat. There's also been 5 gifted right before I was about to give those, so I'll do 2 more. All right, so all the gift subs. Ice and Fire gifted 5 tier 1 subs to Lady Jews. Or Juice, maybe. Azure Refrain, Keyblade Craft, Darkfang 22, Zero Gamer. Here's a big sub for them subs. Mwah. And I gifted some subs to Digimaster555, Human That Is Not Human, Crazy Crash 546, Fox McCloud 584, and HH Pack. Here's a big sub for them subs. Mwah. All right, now we got to go find ourselves a raid target. We're gonna raid with Buffyakia. We also got Poke Dude 14 with 63 months of tier 1 who's sub for your sub. Wow, with the mistake. I joined the stream right at the end and found out there's a 16th student. Yeah. We're gonna raid with Buffyakia. But I still need to find a raid target, so give me just a hot second. Who was live that I could raid? Hopefully it's muted. It is not. There we go. I want to keep it a surprise. We're going to raid Josh Jepson, who's currently playing some Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I believe... What is he doing? I guess this is like a standard stream that he does now called Banjo Buildy, where he's trying to create a bunch of different vehicles in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Right now he's building a frying pan, so give him some of that Tommy love, and I'll see you guys next time. Later!